Upon finishing Fight Fire with Fire, this was the state of Ride the Lightning. When you compare it to Creeping Death, when it's finished, you can see there's a lot more splits. This is what Ride the Lightning will look like when it's finished. As you may have noticed, this is not Season 2, Episode 2 for Ride the Lightning. This is the making of video to show you how I painstakingly split and grafted the Cliff Burton bass track onto the remaster. This video and Season 2, Episode 2 are being released at the same time. This one is a look behind the curtain to show how much work goes into splitting the bass tracks and why it takes so long. The other video is me talking about parts of the songs that I like and doing a deep dive on the bass track itself. There was a long gap between Fight Fire with Fire and this one, and it's because I hadn't split this bass track yet. I hadn't put the work in. But all the rest of the bass tracks on Ride the Lightning are done, and all the bass tracks on Master Puppets except for Orion are done, so content should keep coming for a good long while. Let's get started. Fun fact, I actually stopped listening to this song because it's not done. Just to show you what I'm talking about, this is the beginning of the song. Let's just give it a little listen. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so you see here, each one of these little thumps on the bass, there's a split between them. That's because YouTube compression played a nasty little trick on this bass track. You get a little further in, and you see it mellows. Well, I've gotten about this far into the song, and that is, let's see, about 1:05. The song itself is 6 minutes and 36 seconds. So I got a lot of work to do. But you know, my wife asked me the other night, she says, what are splits? And I said, really? But it was a fair question, as splits are not a naturally occurring event in a song. I used the splits to counteract the fact that time has aged these isolated tracks on YouTube. And whenever there's a stop in the sound, it usually shrinks in size. And whenever the notes ring out, that's where it usually tends to expand. This is the state of the song right now. We're at 1:10 out of 6 minutes and 36 seconds. To show you the bass and how it lines up in time with the drums, I've got the enhanced track on mute. I have the remaster at minus 10 dB. Here we are. The bass is pretty much in time. You go a little further up the track at 1:34, and it's out of time. He's behind the beat. Right here. Yes, it's noticeably behind the beat. But at this split right here, it writes itself again. I'll show you. He's in time with the drums again. For that second, he's in time with the drums. So basically, everything from 1:10 to that split needs to be split every few beats. Now I'm going to split part of the track for you. Right there. This is where we're going to zoom in and create our split. So we're going to look for the quietest part of the signal where silence is almost happening, but not. We're going to split like so. To remove part of the track, a microsecond that no one will miss. And it has to happen on that line of silence or there will be a pop. You will hear it. Then we go a little further up the track and we look for like events, a unifier. We're going to line up an obvious valley or a peak with a like event, and I see it here. This. Zoom in, make sure that they line up at the lowest point, and looks like now they do. Now we're going to isolate the track, make sure the split is silent. And it is. Now we're going to unisolate the track and see if I like the way it sounds and if it sounds in time to my ears. Okay, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds closer to 6 minutes and 36 seconds. And here's a section that I'm listening to from the beginning of the song. And it's not just about the splits, it's also about moving the splits around, or moving the split pieces of the bass track around to line up with the drums. And here's an example of where it's already split, but I'm going to move where the split occurs so that the bass and the drums stay synced or in time. I don't know if you heard that, but I don't like that. Now, right here, it's in time, and right here, it's in time, but this right here is not in time. And since these splits occur in similar areas, but this one seems to be shorter, I'm just going to move the split over to here, where it's quieter. And that's usually like a rest between notes, and they happen obviously when there's eighth notes pretty frequently. So now we're going to get in here. There. See how silent that split is before I check it out. I don't want to waste my time. That's silent. Let's zoom out now. Now you see the splits look about the same, you know, where they occur, ballpark. Let's hear it. Again, the enhanced track is muted. It's just the remaster at like -8 and the cliff part. Sounds much better. I've got some thoughts on this, on the YouTube compression thing. Obviously, right here you can see I had to split all these thumps in the beginning of the song. YouTube compresses. Now, the song does not change its length in time. It's still a 6-minute and 36-second YouTube video for the isolated bass track. But over time, as it compresses, these gaps in sound, it shrinks. And where we just were at 1 minute and 15 seconds, okay? Hear those long notes, dun dun. Each one of those notes is where it's expanding to make the track not change its 6-minute and 36-second size. So I don't know why it does this, but in the guitar solo, it's not going to require too much work because it's steady eighth notes. Let me see if I can find that for you real quick. So right there, he's just playing notes, and also in here too. See how none of the notes, he doesn't stay on those notes for too long? It doesn't change the shape or size or whatever of the notes. But when he stops playing, it shortens it. And then when he plays longer notes, it expands, making this a difficult, it's always difficult, but this song in particular is, well, it's a long song and it's whatever. Check this out. I'm going to have to split each one of those. Dun, 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 dun. Each one of those is going to have to be split. Just a little update. I'm at 1 minute and 43 right now, making progress. I'm almost at that bridge. But right here, I want to point this out because up until this point, I was pulling the beat forward, or pulling the bass forward because it was behind the beat, excuse me. Until this section right here that I'm just going to solo for you. Going into the second chorus, Cliff does a little slide up the fretboard and stops playing. From this point forward, guess what happened? In this gap, it compressed, it reduced in size. So now I'm pushing the tracks back because the bass is now ahead of the beat. So what I'm doing now is splitting the bass track and moving the pieces back in time so that they line up with the drums because they're ahead of the beat. Check this out. Watch how it comes Watch how it speeds up. He's way ahead of the beat there. So now I'm splitting it to get to this next section here. And you can see how the gap, you know, the band is still playing here and he's done playing right here. So I'm going to be creating splits and pushing the bass track back so that it eventually ends here at the same time. Okay, so that's silent, and let's hear it in time. Oh man, okay, we're done with the second chorus. We're now into the bridge. This is good. Alright, I'm shutting this down, and I'll see you when it's done. At that point, I realized I'd showed you everything I could possibly show you about, you know, it speeding up and it slowing down and what I liked and what I didn't like and how the process works. And so I just stopped recording the process and got down to business. And this is the song in all of its fully split nastiness. And it sounds really good. So let's dive into the finished product. Tragically, though, I was not done. As you can see here, this is what I hope is the finished product, and there's a lot more splits. What I do when I think I've finished with one of these songs is I put them on my phone, I take them out in my car, and listen to them on the car speakers, and I write down all the bass timing errors with a pen and paper and essentially rip it to shreds. And then I bring it back in and I fix those timing errors, and then I put it back on the phone, take it back to the car, and write down more timing errors, and I do that again and again and again until I think this is a finished song. And when I do upload these songs to YouTube, it's kind of like saying goodbye to them because I've worked on all of them and I've known them for 30 some odd years, and hearing them with the bass parts, it was like hearing them again for the first time. But I want them to be right. I don't want there to be any timing errors. So one day I listen to it and I go, oh man, listen to that. I want it perfect when it goes up on YouTube. So hopefully you guys enjoy the finished product. And this one and Orion were the two that were not done. And Orion is a long way from now, so content should keep coming for a while. And we'll end this one at the halfway point of most episodes. If I did one video to include this and the actual content of the song, Ride the Lightning, it would be incredibly long. So doing a making of video allowed for people who just want to watch how the process works to see it, and for people who just want to watch the episode to enjoy the fun facts that I like to include with each song. That said, this song, Ride the Lightning, the title track of the album, Ride the Lightning, had a whopping 292 splits across 6 minutes and 36 seconds, which equates to one split every 1.36 seconds. If you look at this napkin here that I have, the first minute of the song, it's one split per second. There are sections where later on in the song, it doesn't have as many splits, but the beginning of the song is literally one split per second. Now I will just sing. Alright, splitting Ride the Lightning's bass track was a nightmare, but Season 2, Episode 2 and Ride the Lightning Re-Remastered are coming. So thank you so much for watching. This is the Metallica Re-Remastered series. Stay tuned for more.